welcome back to Just Some Space Guy. I'm here with another Firetail 100 Year Quest theory video. But before I start, make sure you are subscribed. It's free! So in the recent chapter, Gotserina was introduced as being alive. But it's strange because he was confirmed being dead both in Firetail and Firetail 100 Year Quest. What if he was in fact brought back to life through alchemy, as I said in my last video? And him being alive once again might have something to do with a greater plot point later on in the story, like with Ignias' plans. We always say Ignias' plans. We need to give some credit to Dogramag as well. He literally died for the cause. Anyway, what if the Guild of the Gold Owl is working together with Ignia? Ignias' plans are a great mystery so far, but based on what he said when he faced Selene, many people, including me, started to theorize that he might want to bring back the Age of the Dragons. My theory back then was that he might try to hatch a large amount of dragon eggs and release them at once, while other people had the theory that he might want to bring back all the dead dragons from the past. Based on the recent event about Gotserina, the later theory what people came up with might be the actual plan of Ignia. Of course, my theories are always slightly more crazy since I want to be a different girl. And I have more fun making somewhat unique theories than following what other people are making. There is not much information about the motivations of Ignia, but based on his personality, he's someone who likes to fight strong people, or opponents. I mean, he's dragon, so he likes the challenge. That's why he wants to face Natsu when he gets stronger. What if this has something to do with his plans? Ignia was young when most of the dragons went extinct, so he didn't have lots of competition. This made him question his own strength. He got labeled as one of the strongest dragons, but he had no ways to actually test his powers against others. The dragon gods were as strong as he, and fighting them would probably end in a death. And there isn't much of fun in that. Fighting someone whose strength you don't know is always more interesting than fighting with someone who is as strong as you. So he and Dograma came up with a plan to bring back to life all the dead dragons from the past, just so he could find someone worth challenging or face against. So he could experience true competition. It's also possible that his plans didn't just stop at dragons but went even further. He probably decided to bring back all the once dead dragon slayers as well, to make things even more challenging. This would explain why Serena is back. Ignia probably wants to start a new festival of the Dragon King, a new war where dragons and humans face each other in a bloody battle, like 400 years ago. He wants to be part of this fight himself. He wants to experience and see all the destruction himself, but he couldn't back in the days because he was still pretty young. This will be a great opportunity to actually expand the lore. We learned that there were many dragon slayers 400 years ago, but we never heard or met anyone outside Acnologia and Irene. This will be a great opportunity to bring back many from the past back to life and expand the lore, learning their histories, their backstories and motivation behind why did they decide to become dragon slayers, and even potentially explore the past, and even connect them to already existing characters. We also could use this to explore the backstory of Wendy and Gajgil, for example. How did they become orphans, and so on. And these new Dragon Slayer characters could serve as opponents and allies during this war. This could also give second chance for characters who got wasted in the past, like George, for example. He got hyped up as one of the strongest characters in 100 Year Quest. He was the leader of Diabolos, just so he could get one-shotted by Selene. Or even bring back Acnologia, for example. Who knows, he might return as well. If he does, we might get an ending for his character now in a decent way. Who knows, maybe the future what we saw during Grand Magic Games is actually going to happen. Both what Roach saw and what Lucy saw. Acnologia might return to Ishgar and kill all the dragons who got resurrected on the continent. He became stronger this way and proceeds to rule over the continent. And since Natsu isn't on the continent, including all the other Firetail Dragon Slayers, It would kinda line up with what future Roach said, but slightly different, because Frosh survived, you know. Who knows, Roach might face Acnologia and kill him with his own hands, or Roach and Sting is going to face him. Or potentially Roach and Sting and future Roach comes back and face Acnologia together and defeat him. Together. Like, endless possibilities. We could even give second chance for dragons we met but never seen at full strength. Like Prime Ignea. He could face his own son to stop the madness, and this could serve as a great power indicator to show the power difference between Ignia and Ignea, or to show how far did Natsu came, how strong he became since he last met Ignea, and even give chance for dragons like Grandine and especially Metallicana, since we never seen what they are capable of and how powerful they truly were. To accomplish a plan like this, Ignia needed as much help as he could get. We never saw magic being able to bring back life successfully. Even bringing back a regular kid, took Zeref years to accomplish. And he technically failed because he had to make Natsu into a demon rather than just bringing him back to alive as a human. This would mean that bringing back every dragon from 400 years ago will be nearly impossible. With magic at least. But if alchemy, a different power system, is capable to do what magic isn't, this will mean that Ignia might have made a temporary alliance with the alchemists. This would explain why was Serena and Sai in the labyrinth to begin with. They came with Ignia and split searching for materials needed for this plan, like the Dogramag orbs. Who knows, maybe there is a fourth member in the labyrinth who brought back Dogramag to life. And this member is going to face someone from Team Natsu, I don't know, Erza, Wendy, or maybe Gray, so he could have a normal fight this time. The God Owl might have their own reasons to follow the plans of Ignia, like wealth, power, or this entire thing might be just some giant experiment for them. Or perhaps they think they are going to be able to control the dragons they brought back to life and use them to expand their power and influence on the world. Ignia's plans might be to start an all-out war or battle royale between dragons and dragon slayers and humans. He probably wants to see who is going to reach the top first and who is going to be the strongest dragon or dragon slayer of all time. He wants to face the absolute strongest opponents known in history, including Acnologia, Natsu, Adron, and many other unnamed dragons and dragon slayers from the past. A plan like this will unleash an absolute level of chaos on the entire world. A new Dragon King festival, a new Ragnarok, a true Ragnarok, a global scale chaos and destruction, a third world war on Earthland. I mean, technically, if we think about the Alvarez War was the second world war in the Firetail Wars, this is kinda funny. This will mean that Ignia is much bigger threat than any other dragon god was so far. I mean, that's not that big of an accomplishment because the only dragon god who actually was really dangerous was Selene, because she nearly destroyed Elantir. All the other dragon gods kinda did nothing. Since Ignia would actually put the safety of the entire world at risk, an absolute war arc would be a great addition for the story of 100 Year Quest. And I personally think they could stretch this arc as long as possible without the need for few chapter long fights. Since every fight could be as interesting as possible, so there is no need to cut it short to get to my point because the entire thing will be a major point. An arc like this will be an absolute blessing from Mashima and Ueda. We ended Firetail in a war arc. Ending 100 Year Quest in one would be the biggest thing ever. And I am all for it. I just want to see another proper war arc this time. But what do you think? Please let me know in the comment section below. And see you guys in space. My voice is going away apparently, so bye!